What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. If you wanna ride, don't ride the white horse. If you wanna ride, don't ride the white horse. White horse, don't ride the white horse. White horse, don't ride the white horse.
Welcome out, everyone, to the wonderful world of decoding. My name is Logan, your host, your tour guide. And today, we're going to be breaking down the topic of sex. So this will be sex decoded, riding the white horse. Love that song. And, this is how most of us got here. A few people did the tango, they humped, and then 9 months later, give or take, you get created, which, makes you rather special because you're right here, right now. So let's just really have some fun with this one because, I can assure you there's going to be a lot of smiles, jaws on the floor, and laughter, and all that stuff in between for this decoding of the topic, sex. So here are some of the methodologies I use, some of the decoding tools I use. Those of you that are new, welcome out. Appreciate you're here. And those of you that are returning subscribers, thanks each and every one of you for your love and support for this channel, taking you all with me. But see, these are some of the decoding tools. These are the things I'll be synchronizing together to show you how this source code is playing out through mankind. As I say, I feel the supernatural is whatever the entity, the energy is running mankind as instruments to experience its own reality. So these are some of the decoding tools that can show that narrative. Numerology, the science of numbers, the cards of illumination, a typical playing deck of 52 cards, the tarot, we have alchemy in there, we got some mathematics through the golden ratio and prime numbers, we got some science in this one, and then we do have some mainstream. We have, Elvis and Riding the White Horse. And please go support these bands. I'll leave these songs, that was a remix, in the description, and make sure you go like and support these great bands. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was kind of part of the intro. Always want to include that whole, that's zero. I'm not trying to be perverted, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to have fun with this, man. Life's a joke to me. Just try to make it fun. So here are the topics for this presentation, short and sweet. Number one, we're going to talk about some drilling. We're going to get into some drilling. Number two, we're going to get into some sex TV. And then the last topic, short and sweet, we're going to talk about Cadillac. So get yourself strapped in, put on your seatbelts. This one's going to be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. So let's get into the first topic now. called drilling. And, I mean, again, have some fun with it, right? All this neon. I'm a huge fan of neon. But this word, these two words, sexual intercourse. It's when two people come together and they hump and they make babies. That's how we all got here. So avoiding this terminology, I mean, let's just be real. I'm gonna try to keep it as serious as I can. But it's the number 66, which is so fascinating. The Christ was born at 31 degrees north, 35 degrees east, 31 to 35, 66. That's Bethlehem, the latitude, longitude, of course. But it was the Immaculate Conception, so does that count? But what's so fascinating, because this topic is about drilling, is this company right here, this corporation, which I have a decode I'm working on. A lot of you probably like, oh yes, I can't wait to see this one. A lot of you are going to really get excited about this one. But you see, this is how beautiful Chaldean numerology, once again coming through with showing the narrative of this reality. What is the Large Hadron Collider? Well, it's a particle accelerator, but they're digging into the quantum realm. They're having sex with the quantum realm, folks. That's what this means. Large Hadron Collider 66, sexual intercourse. They're having sex with the quantum realm, folks. They're digging into the quantum, which is why you're getting all these Mandela effects. That's my opinion on this. But I got a decode coming out on this, and this was a humdinger, so I wanted to share it with all of you. And that's the drilling part. So let's get back to sexual intercourse and the drilling, right? So where's that number 66 located at in the string of the golden ratio? So now we're going to marry numerology with mathematics, the golden ratio, which is the measurement of nature, the 1.618033, yada, yada, yada. Well, we got to go 125 digits into the golden ratio to find that 66, 124, 125. It's going to give you a total of 577. But let's focus on this 125, which I have circled right here. And what is that all about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have the element tellurium. Here it is. It's got an atomic mass of 125. These elements have multiple, but you got to know what you're looking for, right, to make sense of the narrative. Tellurium comes from the Latin word tellus, which means earth, which is what we're on, or in, whatever you want to call it. And 52, as I have shown throughout my Prison Planet series, I got part 1, part 2, and part 3. It's the number 52. So having sex, I mean, is that a dead giveaway, like creating offspring? I mean, some people have theorized, like if you have offspring, you're going to reincarnate again. Now, listen, I don't want to piss anybody off, because I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying it's theoretical, and it's possible, but I mean, it's just a theory, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, I know a lot of you are like, I got kids, and it's just a theory, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get all upset. I'm just telling you what I've been hearing and seeing and people throwing out there. Just kind of interesting theory, right? But Prison Planet, 125 tied to the tellurium, 52, okay, and tied to this sexual intercourse. So what about the 577? Well, it's a humdinger. Bam! It's the 106 prime. Now we get into prime numbers. So the total golden ratio outcome, adding all these 125 digits up, where the 66 ends, is tied to the 577, which is the 106 prime number. And just like that, Chaldean coming through once again to show you the source code. It's the 2 base pairs of our DNA, which I have DNA decoded, so check that out. This was a big humdinger right here, I thought. And, I feel like, and as I have said before, and now I'm going to decode this because I've been saying this for a while, that the reason why this reality exists is because, and why people hump and why sex and the orgasms and some of the greatest feelings in the world, because the game needs players. So it entices you to go hump and make babies and have a family and all the benefits you get from the emotional reactions of having a child and et cetera, et cetera. It's a 72, which is, if you go watch my Prometheus Decoded, it's right in there tied to Genesis 2 verses 7, which is a mirror of the 72, tied to germanium germination. But really, the 72, when you bring it into the golden ratio, once again, bringing it into mathematics, here it is right here. It's located at digit 38 and 39. 38 tied to binary. And what's 39 tied to? 39 total digits. It's tied to computer. So is Earth just a computer? The simulation theory, I've been talking about it a lot. Big shout out to Jason from Archaics. I did 3 podcasts with him, me and Jordan talking. Is Earth just a computer, folks? Are we just inside of a computer system? It's really looking that way just because of how crazy this reality is, and the 39 being tied to this, how many digits total. But what about the 197 for the 72? The game needs players. Well, what is the players designed and wrapped around? Gold. That's what this whole entire reality and humping and creating characters on the playing field, the board, so spirit can enter into avatars and experience its own reality and whatever, however this works. Westworld decoded that. It's the 197 tied to gold, and 197 is a prime number. It's the 45th prime number. 79 is the 22nd prime number, which is tied to the words organic and natural. It's tied to the titanium and the titans. But it's the 45 that it's tied to. So the game needs players, and it's led to gold down here. That's what this whole entire reality is based upon. And sex is involved in led to gold because it's emotional reactions. And what about that 45? It's tied to Pandora's box. This is what we're in. Earth is Pandora's box, and then you become a microcosm of Earth, and your own avatar is Pandora's box. Your mind is Pandora's box. And the game needs players for Pandora's box to continue. And the story of this through Greek mythology, of course, this is where all the shitstorm happened. This is when the shitstorm took place and started creating chaos out of the order. That's how this whole thing works, in my opinion. So how about this word sex? Just sex, right? It's a big word. It's a huge word in the language that we speak. And I can break this down. It doesn't matter what language you speak. I'll be able to find the code. But, sex is a 13, and it's not just a 13, but it's a 355. These small words, you can, when you don't have to go really far out, you can plug them in and you can find some truth. So here it is, 355 in the string of the golden ratio. It's occupying digit 1069, 1070, and 1071. And that 171 is tied to the sun. And I'm going to be showing that in just a little bit. Check out my superstar decoded part 1, 2, and 3. 171 is tied to the patterns of the sun, as above, so below. And so this 1069 is also a prime number. It's the 180th prime number. And what is the number 180? You're on television. Right here. You're live in front of the whole world. Right here. This was a big one. Thanks everybody for supporting this one. I mean, this comes from the word tantalos, and that's 106, which is tied to the two base pairs of our DNA. You're being watched, folks. You're an actor or actress. And then even, if you go to the sex itself with the 13, it's tied to the 4 blood types. You're going to be one of these 4. I mean, some of you are like, oh, I'm not that, I'm RH. Those are added like accessories. You're going to be either O, A, B, or AB. You're going to be one of those 4, and it's 13 for the total. It reduces down to the 4. Check out my 4 decode. I just released that before this one. Showed you where we just made in Japan. There's the big red blood cell around their flag. And why it's connected to this element Nehonia. But 13, bam, right there, connected to sex. Sex creates through the blood, right? I mean, that's what you do. You create another human being. The blood is the lifeline, the oil of the body, and you end up becoming an actor or actress, and you're on television. That's exactly how this works. So now we're going to get into the next topic. That was drilling. So now we're going to get into sex TV. And this is what it's all about. So next time you have sex, just remember you're being watched. You're being watched on everything you're doing. And this guy, he's a big proponent of it. A lot of screaming fans, Elvis fans. I broke down Elvis, showed him in my Prison Planet Decoded. Man, he had so many good nuggets. We're caught in a trap. I can't get out because I love you too much, baby. Talking about this reality. Jailhouse Rock. And then he comes out with this song called Can't Help Falling in Love, which I played at the beginning of this presentation before the White Horse. I mean, it's just so crazy, right? Because I'm going to show you the synchronicities. So anyways, Can't Help Falling in Love was off this movie called Blue Hawaii. It came out on the assassination date of JFK, November 22nd, 11/22, which is going to give you the 33. Here's the card that is assigned to the November 22nd birthday. It's the Jack of Hearts. It's the Jesus of Hearts. looking for love. It converts into this card number 48, which is tied to Prometheus. And it's looking for love. Can't help falling in love with you. And I had combined this song with White Horse. And I didn't even know this until I just caught it right now. That's the God honest truth. There's the White Horse. I didn't even catch it, but there you go, as Faye would have, because I'm being used. And there you have it. Ride in the white. Don't ride the white horse. That's, maybe that's the street. The game needs players, folks, as I've been saying. And even the running time of this movie, 102, and it's the atomic mass, the average, the most abundant of rhodium, 45, and it's Pandora's box. You see the synchronicities, even if you have an RH factor. Folks, these are all dead giveaways. Is Norman and Hal and Elvis, are they all in on it trying to mock and screw you over and try to put, what would be the point of that? I don't know. Are they fans of alchemy and Chaldean numerology? Maybe. I don't know. I can't say they were, can't say they weren't. But these synchronicities to me are just so incredible. And so we're going to get into some mainstream now besides that there. Sex TV. How about this great movie? Super funny movie. These two guys, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, together were just classically great. Wedding Crashers. And you could see, the comedy in this 52, and you could definitely fit in the Fallen Angel story in there, chasing ass, chasing tail, wanting to mate, crashing the party. And then you get the Prison Planet 52. And then the tagline is a 56, which matches lights, camera, action. It's just all hilarious to me. Anyway, this is just one of the taglines for the movie, but really, really funny movie. And you can, check it out right here. 2005, this came out. And it's about Jeremy and John and crashing the weddings, and even Will Ferrell at the end, man, crashing funerals. Oh my God. But anyway, this is what it's all about. This movie was all about weddings and sex. That's what happens when you get married, right? On your wedding day. And way before that, for most of you. So this is what it's all about, ladies. You want to know about the as above, so below? Here it is. The sun and moon are the as above, and it's a match to the bride and groom in numerology. 14, 14, 23, 23. You see? And just when you bring the 14 and 23 together, it's a prime number. That's how special this is. Chaldean coming through once again. 224 being one of the atomic masses of radium, the 88th element. And of course, 88 is also tied to the number 39, yttrium 39, and yttrium, the 88. And that goes back to, are we just in a computer? Is just Earth a computer? Right? So it's Ra and radium, which comes from the word radius. That's going to be 17, and that's tied to the star card. So this is how I feel like these have major say in how our reality works, along with the zodiac signs, the celestials, the constellations, the nakshatras, all that stuff. They all play their role here. But when you get married, you're marrying the sun and moon together, the yin yang, the sun during the day, the sun at night. That's what you're doing, the bride and the groom. There you go. So if you're married, now you know you brought the sun and the moon together. So let's get into the last topic now, which is my longest one, called Cadillac. Cadillac. And why the Cadillac? Well, in this movie, I had just, I love this movie. I watch it from time to time because I think it's hilarious. And so just, maybe a couple weeks ago, because I shelved this for a little bit, I decided to put on this, and this is kind of where I ended up, where, he, if you know the movie, he kind of gets ditched by Claire. And he's trying to go after her, and she's not returning his calls and all that kind of stuff. And then finally at the end, he gets his girl. He gets married. This is him in the Cadillac getting married. That's why this topic's called Cadillac. And what's so special about this right here at this very moment, this is right off of Amazon Prime. Thank you, Amazon Prime. Big shout out to Amazon Prime. I get nothing from that as well, but I'm grateful I get to show this to you, because I wouldn't be able to show it to you unless I was watching Amazon Prime. But this is exactly the moment when this license plate shows. The very first time in this timestamp of when this license plate gets exposed. And he's driving in a 1968 Cadillac. So I'm going to break all this stuff down. So let's start off with the alchemy of the license plate. I'm going to get into the timestamp. This is how ridiculously coded and scripted this reality is. And like I said, you got to make the determination on whether you think the producers and the directors all are doing this and staging it just exactly like this with the timestamps included. I showed this with the Truman Show. Just so much, I just can't see it happening. And that's why I lean towards Earth being a computer now, because a computer could definitely code it. And that would be the GOD, right? Or maybe GOD, whatever. But here's the alchemy of the JSM 586, the license plate. Hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, oxygen, carbon. And here it is. You do the alchemy of it, the molar mass, if you want to call it through scientific terms, 55.7. What is 55? It's iron. What do we have in our blood? Iron. What is essential for your blood? It's not even that it's a maybe. It's a necessity that you have iron in your blood. 55. It's the 26th element, which is tied to the word prison. The word planet is 26. And right here, which just may be running the whole thing, which just maybe actually be the computer, I don't know. At this point now, anything's possible with the amount of decoding that I've gone across now. It's the ancient Israelite God of the Bible, the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. 4-letter word. Our blood, there's 4 blood types, 26. Iron. This is, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how you'd even describe this right here. But let's keep going, because I definitely have some more material. How about the timestamp? Again, so if you think they coded this on purpose, okay. Let's get into how do you get the car to come right out at this time to show that license plate? 1 hour, 51 minutes, 33 seconds. The 151 is the big humdinger here, and it's the 36 prime number. Jesus Christ is 36. He was crucified at the age of 33 through that story. There it is. It's the crucifixion of Jesus Christ right there. But what about the 36? Well, it's tied to the word operating. See, this whole entire reality, the operating system is based on sex. Operating 369, the keys to the universe. What are the keys to the universe? Humping, making babies, getting married, creating families, keeping this game going. Because the GOD, however this works, in order for it to have a character to enter into, it needs more characters to experience its own reality. I mean, through Hinduism and Buddhism, it says we're all incarnations of the GOD. That makes much more sense than anything else. But there's the 36. I have been showing operating system. That's 56, which is lights, camera, action. So it's just, these are the 2 main characters besides Claire and the other ones. These are the 2 main guys that are crashing the weddings. It's Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, Jeremy and John. And I feel like these guys are playing the double helix. You know, as I have said so many times, I feel like Jesus and Lucifer are the double helix. One is one side, one is the other. This is going to form an eyeball. This is the womb, the vesica Pisces. There's the number 8 right there. There's so many ways to look at the DNA. I've broken this down so many ways. And he's got, to even solidify this, he was born on the 28th, Lucifer's 28, and then Owen Wilson's born on the 18th and Jesus is 18. And when you bring those 2 together and you add them up, you get the word double helix. You get 46, folks. I mean, what are we to make of this? What are we going to use for logic and discernment here to think that, to what goes into casting characters in a movie? If you've never been to Hollywood, if you've never been involved in acting, if you've never seen what goes on behind the scenes to try to get these people to sign contracts, you have to cast them. Are they going to agree to the numbers? So you got to get that going on. And then to get all these numbers like this, no way. It's just too much. Not for mankind to sit down and actually write out on a piece of paper, okay, we need this guy, we have to cast this guy. They have to all be in on it, and I just don't see that. 46. Their birthdays, double helix. And that's what's all about, humping and sex, creating you and me and mankind. There it is. Jesus and Lucifer, 46, the double helix. Good, you could say good cop, bad cop, masculine, feminine. However you want to look at it. Some say Lucy is Lucy, Lucifer is Lucy. However you want to look at it, ladies and gentlemen. 46 is tied to happy home. I mean, if you go to the tarot and you pull up the 46 card, it's right here. This represents happy home. 46, right there. I mean, there's the rainbow bridge. It's the 10 of cups, the 10, the binary system. I mean, it's just so easy to see this here. But anyway, let's keep going, and then the 46 again tied to the two base pairs, right? 106 tied to the two base pairs, right? Which is tied to the palladium and all that kind of stuff. If you saw my DNA decoded, 46 tied to the double helix, 106 tied to the two base pairs, and palladium is going to be that bridge, that element that's going to bridge the gap on there. But these are pretty much dead giveaways here on sex and all this stuff. And what about this right here? It's called the deoxyribonucleic acid in science. That's the double helix. 69, that's the yin yang. The 69th element's called thulium. It's got an average atomic, the most abundant actually is 169. And these two guys' names on their birth certificates, total numerology is 169. I mean, how do you get all this stuff exactly like this? Again, you know what goes into casting and movies and Hollywood and all stuff? And then all the other things that we've all been decoding, not just me, but all you great decoders. I mean, there's no other explanation other than that there's some supercomputer or it's the supernatural God that's controlling everything and running this reality. And you can become aware of it, absolutely. All of us have. We're all now doing it. But I mean, at the level of what I'm showing you here, let's keep going with this. I got a little bit more to show you. How about the actual license plate broken down through numerology? JSM 586 is going to be the number 27, and that's tied to the word golden. It's tied to the word currency. And what color car is it here, folks? It's a gold Cadillac. Yeah, it's a gold Cadillac. That 27 is so big. Tied to Ensof, if you're a fan of Kabbalah. Ensof is 27. Golden, Jupiter's 27. A lot of words equal 27. That's why you got to know what to look for. And then if you add on other ciphers, man, you can really get watered down results. That's why I suggest sticking with just one, because it narrows it down and gets it really tight. Now, what about the 27 in the string of the golden ratio? Well, it occupies two digits, 63 and 64. And 64 is tied to the total possible codons in our DNA, which is going to be right here, the DNA. And then there are 64 squares on a chessboard, which has nothing to do with anything Masonic. They use it, but that just means you're in duality. 64 numbers in the H&E Ching system. 64 numbers tying into human design if you're a fan of that. It's tied to the 27. It's right on that license plate. Just so happens. And what's so fascinating about this 63 and 27 combination is it's bright, right? It's tied to the wake-up call. It's tied to the flower of life. Flower of life is 63. I showed this in my Kabbalah. 63. It's right there in the golden ratio. And I feel that this is the implant, or pieces of the implant, besides the pineal gland, but it's the thalamus, the golden egg. Talking about gold, it's the golden egg, the thalamus. The word heaven equals 27. Where's heaven? It's in your brain, folks. It's in your mind. Everything's in your mind. There's no physical place to go to. It's in your mind. Your mind is a receiving station, which provides feedback to the whatever runs this reality. Demiurge is 30, feedback is 30, Jehovah is 30, Santa Claus is 30, coming down the chimney. It's just so easy to see. 27, tied to the flower of life through the golden ratio. It's so beautiful. And this reality, Earth, is that flower of life. And how many times have I done this? I got to do it again. Here's the birth cities of Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Vince being born in Minneapolis, and then Owen being born in Dallas. Just typing it into this distance2.com website, 863 miles. That is also a prime number. It's not just any prime number, the 150th prime number, and the element that has that 150 is the 63rd element, and that's tied to the flower of life, which is tied to that 27, which is tied to the brain, which is tied to the gold Cadillac and golden and currency, and this entire scene right here at 1 hour, 51 minutes and 33 seconds. I mean, these are just so ridiculous. And again, the producers would have to get this right. No way possible. No way. That's why living in a computer would make more sense. Right? Would make more sense. And here's the alchemy of the timestamp to kind of finalize this decoding of sex. It's 1:51:33 when this license plate first emerges. You can go check it out for yourself. I would all encourage you, be skeptical of my work and go look at the movie yourself and click on the pause button. Or when this card pops out. This is right off of Amazon Prime. So this is the timestamp I'm using. Hydrogen, antimony, arsenic. 151.33. What does that add up to? It adds up to gold. So again, another thing they would have to get exactly right. At exactly this moment, we're going to have the card pop out at this exact scene. After they get married, we're going to have the thing pop out with the license plate showing and all the other bolt-on things I've shown. And it's, I mean, are you freaking kidding me? It's gold? Yeah, because what is gold? It's gold currency. When you get married, you're now playing the game at a very high level because you're married and you're going to probably have kids and offspring, maybe get some pets. You're going to get engrossed in the game. You got to pay your bills, your mortgage. You're now having to play the game, folks. It's inevitable. You can become a minimalist. You're still playing the game. Okay? You're still playing the game. It's all about lead to gold. It's the energetic exchange. Check out my lead to gold decoded. So to finish up this decode here, this was the car that they were driving, a 1968 DeVille convertible, beautiful car, gold, right? Of course. And then who was the guy who designed it? So this guy would have to be in on it too. Okay, they're all in on it, all out to get you and screw you over and dupe you and mock you. They're all out to get you, these people, every single one of them. Trying to pork you. I don't know what the hell the reason would be for that. They got their home lives, their own lives to do. But anyway, Bill Mitchell, he's the guy who designed the 1968 Cadillac, born on July 2nd. Remember, the game needs players, 72, July 2nd. And then his birth card to finish this decode up of sex, just so happens to be the 39th card in the deck, the King of Diamonds. If you got this card as your birth card, I mean, it's like the king of money. Not saying you're going to just get handed over money, but it's one of the most fortunate cards in the deck for money. It's the king of money, the king of pentacles, card number 77 or 78 in the tarot. And 39's tied to this word right here. If you've been paying, you know what this is? Lucifer. It's called Halil or hell. And the word computer is 39. The word computer is 39. Lucy, Lucifer, Lucy, computer, Sophia, this stuff's all, and we're moving towards the age of Aquarius, the age of electricity, and Uranus ruled, and it's going to be a much different, and this is the age of technology, folks. This is why we're finding this stuff out right here. I mean, he's not trying to get you. He's not out to like trying to pork you. The guy's a car designer. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to hear what you saw. I know I really drive this home here, but but no pun intended, drive it home. But I would love to hear what you saw. Just keep your comments cordial. You don't have to agree with me. Like I often say, you don't have to. But if you're going to post an opinion, I mean, go make some videos if you want to say that you think it's something else. Okay, great. Because I know a lot of people, the sports, they're the coaches. And anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. Nope, I'm not going to get into that. I wanted to keep this thing as fun as I can. And I just, I would love to hear what you saw. So keep your comments coming, ladies and gentlemen. This is my research. These are my opinions and truths. And I want you to use logic and discernment and be a skeptic on what I'm showing. Go watch a lot of my other videos, 422 or 23 videos now and counting. And I'm going to continue to pump these things out, showing we live in a scripted reality. And this is one of the reasons why the game needs players and why people have sex. Because without human beings, there's no creation. There's no manifestation. There's no energy movement. I mean, the animals only do so much. Animals can't make buildings and corporations and circulate money and currency and all that stuff. Human beings do. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to hear what you saw. Thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. Very few of you do. So if you did, great. Thank you so very much. Thanks for all the support, all the love over all these years for Decode Your Reality channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you later.